Hello, comrades, and welcome to an episode of War Thunder. I recently got back into the game after I had enough of it for some time. It's a great game, but I don't know, I grew tired of it. So, in this episode, I'm flying a plane that I hold very dearly. I really think that this is the best plane to fly in World War II. And I don't mean best like that it was the most capable fighter or the most advanced plane, but just, I don't know how to describe. So basically this is a Bf-109 and it's the version E1, the Emil version, like it's called by German pilots. And the Bf-109 is a very interesting plane. It was designed in a contest in the early to mid 1930s. So it first flew, the V1 version flew in 1935. And the one thing that I think is the reason why I think it's the best plane in World War II is because it was still up to date at the end of the war, due to various improvements. So here I fly the Emil version, and the Hurricane in front of me gets two very lucky shots in. I think he killed both pilots there, which means I didn't get anything out of it. So this version is the first version that is available in game, while I get onto the back of an HE-112, which is actually a plane that was in the competition, the Bf-109 won and in. So I don't get the kill there anyway. I think I managed one hit after all, and it's not a great start. But this is as I was trying to say, this is the first version of the Bf-109 that is available to pilots in game. It is a level 5 plane, and it has the flight characteristics of a Bf-109, which is great, but it lacks armament. So it comes with four 7.92 millimeter machine guns, which is lackluster. I like to describe it if you're flying low-level Germans. It has the flight characteristics more like a MC-202, the Italian plane I showed previously. I think, did I show it? No, I didn't. But it's the only Italian plane that doesn't suck, and but has the has the armament of it as well. So it's like, yeah, not a great armament. So here I try to get on the back of another Bf-109, but he turns inside me, so I go for this S-79 instead. That is an Italian bomber, but it rams another player and I almost collide with a teammate, which would be dramatically bad on my part. So I turn around again, still didn't manage to get any hits, and I grew frustrated at this point a little bit, because I really wanted to show off this plane. So here's the Bf-109 that I tried to get on the back to earlier. I finally managed to get some hits. I cross a biplane here, which I actually should have killed. Almost collide with a friendly again. This is not the best piloting I've ever done, to be quite honest. The Bf-109 is low, so I go vertical, drop on it, get a crit just before it crashes against the hill, and I get my first assist, which is actually quite nice. So I gain altitude again, because in a Bf-109 is a energy fighter. It's not a boom and zoomer, where you boom down and zoom up again. It's an energy fighter. You want to conserve your energy. And it has some tools to it. As I target this Hurricane, or I switch to the Junkers and switch back to the Hurricane, and I can't really decide myself. Now I want to go on the Hurricane. So it has some tools to be an efficient energy fighter. It has a good engine. As I get onto the back and I spray this thing with bullets, I use stealth bullets by the way, crit his rudder. But again, this is arcade, so he's not really affected by it. Spray him again. And here's the thing: if I were flying a BF-109 E3, which is the level 6 BF-109, this Hurricane would have been dead long ago. So I kill my throttle, something you should never do, actually, because speed and height equals energy. Once he goes into a dive, I accelerate again. I crit his tail. He is trying to get myself crashed, but I'm smarter than that, and I get my first kill. At this point, I see that there's someone behind me, but it's a Gladiator, which is a biplane, so I don't get worried too much, and I just straighten out and gain some speed. So the engine in this little thing is a Daimler-Benz engine, and it is one of the best engines of the Second World War. It got upgraded during the years. Probably only second to the Merlin engines that the British and Americans used. So I really like the flight characteristics of this one. It is not, by no means, if you saw my Japanese video, it's not a turn fighter. And I probably am not playing it very, very correctly, but I'm trying to gain energy and zoom down on people, spray them with bullets. Here I avoid the head-on with the Yak-7 because Russian planes in this game are made of Stalin wood, so you can't kill them. It's just an inside joke for the players because Russian planes are so hard to kill. So I'm probably not using it correctly, well, 100% correctly, but I try to have the altitude advantage over my opponents, and in this low-level arcade games, this is pretty much easy to do. So I go here on the Catalina, which is a bomber, and I shouldn't actually do that because my machine guns are not able to penetrate this thing. And here I turn on the Spitfire, manage to get a hit, but nothing too dramatic. There's the Yak-7 again that I avoided in the head-on, and it crashes, as they often do in arcade. Nice explosion. I think I'm not a cool guy because I looked at it, but it's fine. Rolling around. It has a very nice roll rate. Turn rate is fine. The vertical is great. I cut my throttle again. Crit the right wing. And almost collided there. And I managed to pull up. I think I actually did collide there. Oh well. Only just a little bit. It's fine. So I gain an assist. So at this point I have 1 kill, 2 assists if I counted correctly. Not the greatest game, but again, these videos are not there to show that I'm very skilled, because I most certainly am not. Yeah, so I gain a little bit of altitude. As you can see, most of the dogfighting is going on near ground level. And I think I decide to jump on this Hurricane. Although there is a sea of red people there. Managed to get some hits in and a crit. Right wing. So I do the cardinal mistake going on the one in the front. Always try to target the one in the back. So I'm lucky here that I think they don't go for me. I switch back to the Hurricane. I don't hit a thing. Looking for it. I think I hear some firing in my general direction. I turn, which is the wrong thing, I think. I should have turned vertically. And I switch to a Kitty Hawk. And a Kitty Hawk will be pretty impossible to get it down with my armament. Kitty Hawks are very sturdy. They fly like a boat, but they are very sturdy. So I put some bullets in. And I actually get him down. But I think it was more because his aerobatics were a little bit too much the plane could handle. So I get my second kill, and I see a bowfighter. I hate bowfighters. Bowfighter or broken fighter are British twin-engined heavy fighters, but they turn like single-engine fighters, and I manage to get the curve here. And they have cannons, so they blast everything out of the sky. Broken fighters are broken, as the name says. But they crash, so welcome to arcade. There is another Hurricane there. A British plane also. And a G50. I go to the G50 and I luck out. Kill his pilot. I hate this. You can... If you see me getting hit by this, and yeah, I forgot to pull out. If you are seeing me getting killed by one-shot pilot kills, I freak out. So here's the summary. I did fine. 3 kills. The game ended after that. So here I switch it up. Switch into my Japanese planes again. And I unlocked the level 7-0 in my Japanese. And this plane is... I love it. It's... If there is like 4 or 5 planes everyone knows from World War II, probably not that many that everyone knows, but the Zero is one plane everyone recognizes. It's the Japanese plane. It's not the best plane the Japanese had, not even close, but it's the most iconic because it was like involved in stuff like Pearl Harbor. And I am trying to play this a little. You have to play it differently than, for example, the BF-109s. You have to stay low because this thing is not controllable in a dive. It climbs very well, but if you dive, no, it doesn't work. So I'm trying to stay comparatively low, 1,500 meters, and I see a broken fighter who goes for ground target chips, which I don't quite understand, but I'm going after it. So this Yak had a chance. I hit it. And my armament here is much better than the one in the BF-109. And I crit his elevator. So he can't pull up, and I'm pretty sure at this point, while I hear some explosions, that I got him. And I get an assist because the Yak gets a sneaky hit in before the Bowfighter crashes. So the armament here is 2 20mm cannons and 2 7.7mm machine guns. Yeah, and I have the stealth belt on the machine guns, but no special armament on the cannons yet. I have to level this plane up a bit more. And I had some very bad results with this plane, mainly because I played it like an American plane or a German plane, where you would hang high, dive down on an enemy, give it one burst, and then burst up again, and it doesn't work with this plane. It just doesn't work. You have to play it as a turn and burner. Get into the melee, right? Pick your target, get into the melee, try to get it involved in a turn fight, shoot it down. No other plane can compete with this one in a turn fight. Not one. Now here I give a few quick hits to this Yak, and I immediately turn. I first think that he is running away, but he turns, which is a bad mistake. I give it a few more hits. I'm not actually sure if I get him here. And he is trying to go into a climb, but the Zero climbs very well and has a very low stall speed. So I get my first kill. The Yak explodes, and I see a BF-109, and here I can demonstrate what happens if you dive with the Zero. So I'm not that high. I was at like 1,500 meters, and I'm diving down. And you see my speed is 520 kmh, which is nothing. And you may see how stiff it is. I can't roll. That's because of the build of the Zero. The Zero was built as a long-range fighter, so it was light. And had a high wing load, which is why it's so stiff. Yeah, I tried to get some hits in, and I actually did hit him, even though it didn't show up, and I get the kill. So 2 kills, I'm fine with that. And now is the long way back to the fight. So I have time to talk a little bit about this plane and why I like it so much. So basically, I like the armament. Level 7 220mm cannons is quite nice. It doesn't have the most ammunition, but I think the Japanese cannons are alright. They are by no means Hispano cannons of the British, which are absurdly good. Or Russian cannons, but Russians, seriously, I know the developer is Russian, but if you take it historically, right, the Russian airplanes were so outclassed for so long periods of time in the war. No way is this a historical adaptation of what they perform. No way. If you see the kill numbers German pilots got on the Eastern Front against I-16s and Chaikas and Yaks and Lag 3s, absurd. It's absurd that the Russian planes are so good. I know I will get flack for that, but it's the truth. Just look it up. Google it. Just Google kill numbers of Erich Hartmann. Just Google it. Okay. Now I'm going towards this Wellington. Wellington is a British bomber. I managed to get a hit in. I won't turn on him because A, he's a bomber, he has a back gunner, which will burn me down easily. Plus, there is a Spitfire coming in. Spitfire is one other iconic plane of the Brits, and I shoot him twice and turn immediately because he hit me once and you see my wing is red. But he does a bad thing. He thinks he's in a Spitfire and the Spitfire is a turn fighter. So he turns with me. The thing is, I'm in a zero. And a Spitfire cannot outturn a zero. No chance. So I pretty much got him killed. He doesn't know it already. He's burning down. I think that is his engine that's losing cooling aid, and I get the assist. Why I get the assist and not the kill, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I did the most damage there. But again, I'm not complaining. But here you could see the thing I love about the Zero. Nothing can outturn it. A Spitfire is one hell of a turn fighter, and he has no chance against the Zero. So here I'm scanning for new targets, and I think the main action is in this little canyon there. And I see the guy with the Spitfire has hopped into a Typhoon, which is another British airplane. And at this point, I'm pretty sure he's like targeting me because, yeah, well, it looks like it. So I turn away, and I think I want to turn to him. But I think now I'm thinking, okay, the Typhoon has cannons, I think. So that should not be a good idea, so I dive away. If he, and you can see he is targeting me. If he would be persistent, right, I have to pull out of this dive, at least level out. And you see how much I lose speed once I'm leveled out. And if he just stood at his choice of targeting me for a little while longer, he would have gotten a kill. But he turned away. So I'm free to turn. I see a Arrow Cobra coming in. I turn inside him because he has a 37mm cannon and I don't want to get hit by that. He went for someone other. For the, what is it? Wirraway, I think, is that an Australian plane? I have no idea. So I can get on the 6. I drop my flaps. Get on the 6. Patience. 1 hit, 2 hits, and boom! There goes his wing. Great. So now I'm going for the Typhoon. And at this point, I look at my map and I see, fuck, there's something behind me. And I was a bit too late. I'm a little bit sideways, and this is not by choice. My left wing is gone. So I said, fuck it, let's go to the Typhoon, let's crit it, because this BF 109, well done sir, will get me out of the skies. So the game ended shortly after that. I didn't see any action with another plane. Got some new unlocks for the Zero. 3 kills, not that great, but hey, it's fine. I can live with it. I really love this plane though. It's a really nice plane. I hope I get some more. Okay, I think that is it. So, thank you guys for watching.